Absolutely. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to our April regular board meeting. It's really super good to see all the kids here. Thanks for dragging your parents along. We're glad you're here. We always love having you guys come and visit so we can celebrate you. Before I call this meeting to order, as a board, we'd like to express our condolences to Mrs. Jones. Our Nicholas Homestead principal, her mother recently passed away, and we want to express our love and support for her and willingness to help her in any way we can. So I'll call this meeting to order, and we'll have a pledge allegiance by Miss Angela, please.
Please stand. Ready? Begin.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. We'll now have a moment of silence. Thank you. First item of agenda, I'll entertain a motion to approve the agenda, please.
I move to approve the agenda.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Item 3.1, approval of April special meeting minutes.
I move to approve the April special meeting minutes.
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. 4.1, ratification of expenses and payroll vouchers, tax credits, and activity accounts.
I move to approve as presented.
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Item 5.1, student and staff recognition. Dr. Farnsworth.
Thank you, Mr. Board President. We want to start off with several recognitions for tonight. And our first recognition will be in Nicholas Homestead. So if Corinne could come up here with our students and staff.
I have lots of stuff to go with it. So I am just going to start off by reading what people had to say about each of our honorees this evening. So we'll start with Ella. This is Ella Brosman. And you can introduce yourself this way too. There you go. Okay. So Ella is smart, respectful, helpful, and considerate to others. She has many friends. She is kind and gentle and loves to participate and is always willing to help out in the classroom. She's a hard worker, works well with others, and volunteers to help her classmates. We love having her at Nicholas Homestead. Okay, Levi. Levi is smart, respectful, athletic, a leader, and gets along with others. He is known for being very kind. He's always paying attention and asking other students to do the same. He likes to include other students in whatever game is being played, and he always tries his very best. We are fortunate to have him in our school. And then our teacher honoree is Mrs. Decker. She is our music teacher, and she does more than just music. I will personally say, with the state testing, it couldn't happen without her. She is writing sub-plans, having people cover for her, and taking small groups for me. It wouldn't function without her. So personally, I thank you. Then what other people had to say is that about the amazing music program that you offer at our school. You're encouraging all of the different musical instruments and just really getting kids to enjoy music. We know how good music is for the brain, what it does for learning, and without that, I think our school would definitely be a different place. She is always willing to help out, no matter what, and she does it without complaint. So, thank you, Miss. So we have some items here for each of you. I took all of the words that people had to say and turned them into the word art. So yours is
So
in the
cool.
shape.
Thank you.
And then we have Leva and Ella.
Oh, cool.
And then you get a wonderful little bag of stuff in there. And then Mrs. Decker. Thanks to PTSO, I know what you like.
The good stuff.
Thank you.
Let's get a picture from the board really quick. And then don't forget, we have certificates for each of you.
All the many things.
One more.
This is for Ms. Decker. And then this one is for, and you do that one, I'll do this one.
All right, this one's Ella.
Levi, there you go. Mom and dads, if you guys want to come up and get pictures.
That's okay.
One more time for the principal of this high school.
Am I blocking you?
You're fine. No, I think I'm tall
I'm
enough.
not some weird guy that just showed up. All right, sounds good.
Thank you. Start right there.
Corinne, I'm sorry, I sat down. Thank you for all you do.
Congratulations.
Sorry.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Oh, thank you so much.
I'm so proud of you.
Thank you, Mrs. Decker, for all you do.
Thank you very much.
Congratulations, Ella.
Ella, good job.
Congratulations, thank you for all you do.
Are
Thank you
Ella's
for all
and,
you do, Ella.
Levi's parents here? Stand up. Thank you so much for all you do. We appreciate you very much. We know they're wonderful because you're wonderful. Nobody says that about my kids.
Yeah, they do.
We know that what happens at home is a huge influence on how these littles perform in school. So we're so grateful for you. Okay, next. Was that it?
I think the high school choir is coming up. I think they want to share with us their upcoming, maybe a sample of their upcoming performance.
What a treat.
Hello. I'm Becky Eagle. I'm the assistant director and choreographer for our spring musical, Crazy for You. This is Annika Cotterman. She's our music director. We are opening Crazy for You on April 24th, and we run that weekend and into the next. These are some of our amazing cast members, and they're going to give you a little sample.
There's more of them than there are of you. So.
Yep, face that way.
Oops, wrong note. Sorry about this. That one.
I've got rhythm, I've got music.
I've got
Who
fun
could ask for anything more?
I've got daisies in green pastures.
I've got
Who could ask for anything more? Home and trouble, I don't mind him. You won't find him round my door. I've got starlight, I've got sweet dreams. I've got my gal. Who could ask for anything more? Who could ask for anything more?
This is a super fun, energetic, and just funny show. A big switch from last year's, right, and all the seriousness with that one. But it's an amazing show. We have an amazing cast. We have over 40 high school kids in our cast. And we have taught all of them how to tap dance in the last couple of years.
Wow.
Jazz. But they work so hard, and I am so proud of all these kids. They've really put a lot of work in. So we just asked for the district and community support. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for coming to see us. Good job, guys.
Just the weekend, and that was it.
Makes you look forward to those.
What were the dates, Joe? Do you remember?
Okay, item 5.3.
So we have a flyer here. So the dates of the performance are April the 24th through the 25th, May 1st through the 3rd, and then April 26th and May 3rd. And we'll post this flyer on our website and send this out.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Yeah, be sure and call the high school or the district office if you need those dates and times again. Item 5.3, girls and boys wrestling recognition. Mr. Hoffmeyer?
I'd like to bring up Coach Foster and our wrestlers and coaches along with them. I'm on the whole crew. Let's go.
Wow. We won't have a demonstration. I'm kidding.
Yeah, let's see Mr. Hoffmeyer
What's
wrestle. Let's see Mr. Hoffmeyer wrestle the state champion there.
I keep asking her. She won't wrestle me. I'll lose anyway. I match up with Cole.
Is she here?
Richie's here.
Where is she?
Behind the boys.
Hiding in the back.
There she is.
Hi.
So this group, I'll tackle the season first. Outstanding group. Every time I saw them, they were improved from the last time I saw them. Quite the story on them this year through the tournaments and all the stuff they went through. The end of the year with the section, our boys finished second in the section. It's a 18 or 20 team section now. 16. And the girls finished third in section, which for us is outstanding. This group, the future is super bright. But I'll let Coach Foster tell us about the state championships, and let's go.
Yeah. First of all, we appreciate you recognizing them. If you know anything about wrestling, you know that it doesn't get a whole lot of attention as far as fanfare, but the amount of work they put in, they deserve any attention they do get, so we really appreciate it. This year, the big story I thought was our girls team. Last year we didn't take any state qualifiers. This year we had 5 of them. We had 3 section champs. They were all freshmen, and we had a state champ in Ruthie Wilhelm, freshman state champ. First female state champ our school's ever had. On the boys' side, we took 10 wrestlers to state, and of those 10, we had 4 placed in state. We had Dallin Rawlings placed at 150 pounds. He placed 4th. We had Thor Kirkham, a freshman, hiding over there somewhere. He placed 4th as a freshman at 106 pounds. Brody Clough placed 6th at 132 pounds. And then Ben Frun placed for the second year in a row. He placed last year as a freshman. And he followed it up with placing again here as a sophomore at 126 pounds. So really proud of these guys. They're already back at work and ready to improve on this year's good season.
Awesome. Good job.
That's a great group. We're super proud of them.
Congratulations.
Excellent. Congratulations, guys.
Thanks for coming in. It's great to meet you.
Thank you.
That is awesome.
Congratulations.
Set your record.
Good job, man.
Thank you. Way to represent us. Good job.
There you go, Grant.
Congratulations. How are you, Missy? Good to see you. Congratulations. Thank you very much. Good to see you. Thanks for coming out. Appreciate you guys. All you do. Congratulations. Good job. Thank you. Congratulations. All right, girls, right? Hey, congratulations. Great job. Thank you. How are you? Thank you. Congratulations. Thanks for all you do.
You bet.
Thank you for all you do. Appreciate you.
Congratulations.
Oh, no.
Appreciate you. Thank you.
Let's get those ladies out front so we can see you.
No force.
Tallest to shortest, and we'll get a quick picture.
Squeeze in a little more.
Did all the parents get their photo? Good. All right. Thanks again, Coach.
Thank you, guys. Congratulations.
It is. Oh, thank you.
Next up, we have a girls basketball team. We'll get Coach Francis, the coaches, and all our players up here. Come on, David. Come on.
Part of my favorite part, these board meetings.
She's going to speak since she's out of,
I'm supposed to wear that. You didn't. Perfect. J League boys. Okay. Yeah, this group, outstanding. I don't want to steal their thunder. 3A East Region winners for the third year in a row. That's how you do it. Playoffs. Went into the Copper Division. First time we've had that in the state. And we were semifinalists there. Amazing. This group is amazing. They seem to get better every day like the wrestlers. Just every time I see them, they're better than last time. So I'll pass to Coach Francis and let her do her J. Lee Boyce.
Still Jordan.
That's why I meant J. Lee Boyce.
Yeah, well, thank you for having us and recognizing us. I think a lot of times people focus on that we're not winning, the state championship, but what these girls have done is remarkable. And I was just reminded by Coach Pierce that it's been 41 years since Sholo girls won 3 years in a row, the region. That's a long time, right? And it's a hard task to do, and I hope that people focus on that. We're proud of what we do in the postseason, but we are very, very proud of winning the region. We're in a very tough region, and they work hard every single day. We had 6 girls that were recognized in the conference and or region for individual awards, which is huge. I'm just really proud of them, and I want to make them all tell you their name, if that's okay.
Is this the whole team, Coach?
I'm sorry?
Is this the whole team? Is everybody
Everybody's here.
That's
Everybody
great.
showed up.
That
And
might be the
there's
first time everybody's got
Yeah.
life going
I know
on. That's
all
cool.
these other sports they play, and Raquel's a choir person.
Very cool.
I like to embarrass them, but I also really want to point out the coaching staff, Coach Moore, Coach Pierce, Coach Tinkle, and Coach Carpenter. It takes a village to do what we do. I certainly couldn't do it alone, so special recognition to them, and Scott for all his support. And also, just real fast, when we played Phoenix Country Day in the semifinals, we had a huge crowd. It was in the Valley, and Phoenix Country Day is from the Valley, but we had way more fans that were way louder, and they showed up and they stayed and they loved us like we won when we left, and it was remarkable. So I appreciate the community for that. I just want to point that out.
Coach, before they name themselves off, we want you to know that it's about building a program and building these wonderful young people. So thank you so much, all of you that are participating in that. Thanks a ton.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Go, girls. It's all you. Victoria wants to be first.
I'm Kinsey Frost.
Tell them what grade.
I'm a sophomore.
There you go. Come on. You have.
My name is Percy Binney, and I'm a junior.
Yeah.
I know that last name.
I'm Reese Hatch, and I'm a junior also. I am Jaylee Boyce, and I am also a junior.
She's Jaylee.
I am Jordan Boyce, and I am also a junior.
Are you guys sisters? Just joking. Just joking.
I'm Lacey Peter, and I'm also a junior.
Wow, a lot of returners.
I'm Tira Paxton, and I'm a sophomore.
I'm Kelsey Romo, and I'm a senior. I'm Anaya Paxton, and I'm a senior.
I'm Reese Perkins, and I'm a senior.
I'm Raquel Wilson, I'm a senior. I'm Victoria Snow, and I'm a senior. I'm Tatum Moore, and I'm a junior.
Okay.
Yay!
Very good.
Come on. You know what you got to do.
Yeah, let's take a picture.
Oh.
We're sorry to ruin it, but we got to do it.
We might have
have to make 2 rows.
Stand by Dave, Silas.
You need them to squeeze together? Squeeze together.
Act like you like each other.
Yep.
Like you did with the wrestlers.
I said, that's the stuff. That's the right stuff. Good job, girls. Yay.
Thank you, Jackie.
Congratulations.
Appreciate all you guys do.
Yes, congratulations. Right.
Thank you, Chris.
Never give up, okay?
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
I was trying to figure out what family you belong. Once you said it, I could tell right away.
Thank you.
Congratulations. You're awesome.
Congratulations. Good job, Miss Peters. Good job. Good job. Thank you. Congratulations. Thanks for all you do. We appreciate you. Good job. You know, my Miss Shelby loves you, girls. Yeah. Thank you for all you do. You're the best. Thank you, Jackie. Good to see you. Hey, Miss Beth. Good to see you.
I'm giving you another one.
Yeah, you're the best. Thanks for all you do. Good to see you, Ida.
I know I went the wrong way.
Thank you, Coach. Appreciate you.
I have to. It's okay.
Thank you very much.
Excuse me, sir. How are you?
Good, how you doing?
Enough here.
That was fun.
All right, thank you very much.
you.
Great groups. Yeah, could be more.
They are. Thank you.
Thanks, Scott. Well, now that the best part's over, we'll move into business.
Can we have more?
Thank you guys so
That
much.
was so much fun.
So great to have you guys here. Okay, item 5.5, first reading of data sharing agreement. Dr. Farnsworth.
So if you've looked at the agenda and the attachments, there's a couple things that I just want to draw your attention to. Number one, this is a first reading, there's no action. But if you recall, earlier in the year, we brought to you an agreement with GCU, and it's a push, not pull type of agreement. We're pushing senior data to GCU instead of them pulling data from our database. So we're the ones that dictate the confidentiality, who gets the information, and then when we push it to them. Well, ASU, U of A, and NAU, they want to do the same thing through the Arizona Board of Regents. And so the two agreements that you will see, one is the data sharing, which is legalese on like all the different confidentiality systems we need to have in place. And then the other one is by the ABOR, Arizona Board of Regents, where they want to get our junior and senior information that we can send acceptance letters to them for college life after high school. So again, this is just a first reading. It's almost identical to what we've already signed with GCU, and it's really giving opportunities for our seniors and juniors of potential opportunities of post-secondary education outside of Sholo. Any questions?
When was this last revised? Was my curious question.
What was revised?
When is the last time the documentation that is provided to us was revised for, let's say, the most recent revision? Since it was founded, since it was started?
So I think this is relatively new for us.
This is a first.
It was the first time that we had shared that info, and now, of course, ASU and U of A don't want to be left out.
Okay.
And it's just basically an opportunity to get the children's achievements in front of these colleges so that they can recruit them, give them more of an opportunity to go.
Okay. I'm just wondering how recent the language was.
Okay.
That was accurate. Typically what happens is, in the old way, like when I was in high school, you would have to apply to a university. With this agreement, we're going to be sending periodic information, SAT scores, GPA, and then the universities, they're going to send letters to students and saying, hey, you've been accepted to NAU, U of A, ASU. Would you want to come to our school? So now they're pushing for acceptance instead of waiting for kids to apply. They're being a little bit more proactive. So kids and parents are going to have a little bit more options that they don't have to take it. They can turn it down, but sometimes kids don't know exactly what they qualify for. So I think this is a good move.
I move to approve a first reading.
No action.
Oh, no action? Got it.
Nope.
Sorry. Okay.
All right, 5.6, principal reports. Dr. Farnsworth.
So I just want to, again, thank the principals for putting down some of the highlights from each of their campuses, and just want to publicly thank them for what they're doing on their campuses.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Anybody have any discussion or worries or questions or anything?
Well, I was wondering if maybe next month, since it's the end of the year, of the school year, if maybe we could get a report from some of our directors as well to kind of see how the year went and, you know, and things that we'll be working on during the summer and just kind of, just a little progress report. That would be
Absolutely.
wonderful. Thank you.
Considering we meet the second Thursday, you want to do it in May or you want them to come in June when the year is actually over?
Oh, either way, and even just a written report is fine too, whichever they prefer.
Cool, that's a good idea. I like it. 5.7, superintendent report, please.
Thank you, Mr. Board President. So I just wanted to call your attention to a couple highlights. We're moving forward on our visions committee, and I'm pleased that many of the board members have been able to attend. Our next meeting is April 22nd. The Director of Curriculum and myself, we are continuing to work with our elementary K through 5 teachers to look at our ELA curriculum to bring some alignment and unity in that aspect for next year. It's testing season, so every campus is doing some sort of state mandated testing. And a huge shout out, I want to thank Hal and his technology team for relatively having a few bumps, but nothing major. Because all the testing now is virtual, it's all online. And so we require heavily on internet and making sure hundreds of kids can log on at the same time and they can test at the same time. And that's a huge undertaking. So I just want to thank him and his department for that, as well as the principals organizing all of the testing and the schedules and the coverages. It's not an easy task. I've met with the high school principal about graduation, so he's got that under control and sending out information about high school graduation, which will be indoors. We have been approved for new HVAC units at Whipple Elementary. Now, whether the state has money to fund that, that's a different question, but we've been approved for that project, so we're waiting to hear from the state if they actually have money to pay for that.
Will they do it when they have it?
That's
Like if they don't have it this year,
That's my
they'll do it
understanding,
next year?
that we've been approved in the queue, so we're
we're
ready
in
for that
line
project
for-
to happen. It just comes down to money.
Okay.
One of the best highlights of my job is reading to kindergarten students, and I had a wonderful time doing that. I've attended the Navapache superintendent meeting this past month and met a potential governor who will be running, Karen Taylor Robson. She showed up at our meeting, and so we were able to meet her and talk with her for a little bit. We have an artificial intelligence task force, and they've almost completed their proposal, which we will be bringing to the school board for approval. And so I'm excited for you all to see that. And we're trying to support Nicholas Homestead the best we can since Mrs. Jones is out taking care of her family. And that's kind of where we are. Those are some of the highlights.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Item 6.1, classified compensation salary placement schedule 25-26. Dr. Farnsworth.
And the director of business, if you want to chime in on this as well, we did a salary survey, as we've shared with you, and we've surveyed all the surrounding districts. And we found that our classified employees, most of them are like severely underpaid compared to our peers. And so I just want to thank the director of business for putting together a compensation package that we're recommending, and with the help of the school board, recommending at least 4%. But what we found is most people, it's going to be more than that. But 4% is going to be a standard across the board if they're close to the average. And so we've adjusted those placements in the salary schedule. So we would ask that you would approve what we're recommending.
had a question.
Yeah.
I questioned, I love, I'm grateful for the 4% and where we're going with this, but I'm wondering if us not giving the 50 cents, like we've done the previous, like probably 3 years, I believe, to kind of keep up with the mandatory 50 cents to the minimum wage. Is this going to put us in a position where next year we're going to be that much further behind because we didn't, give them the 50 cents on top of the 4%?
Well, again, a majority of the staff is going to be well over the 4%. And then, as we talked in our work session, next year we're going to create the salary schedule and work on looking at where everybody is at with their experience, their years of service, and place them on a new salary schedule for next year for FY27 and place them properly so they will be most of them will be well over even that and the 4% for FY27.
Okay.
So I
And-
don't even think we'll be in that situation.
Next year. Okay.
And I think most of our positions, correct me, are already above the minimum wage.
Yes.
So, yeah, okay.
No, I just didn't want to see us get into a position where we've been in the past by not keeping up with the minimum wage and those staff members who have been with us for years.
Correct.
Then we start getting, into a
They're-
depression type situation.
Where
And
they're close to the minimum wage.
Yeah.
And we don't want them even close to that. Yeah. And at this time, with what we've done, the only salaries that are minimum wage is the event workers.
right, it's just those who have been with us for several years,
Correct.
right? You know where I'm going with that.
I absolutely do. And like I said, after we do our salary schedules next year, everybody should be placed exactly where they should be, again, with years of experience, their education. They should all be placed where they should be.
Thank you for bringing that up because that is something I wanted our employees to know that we are working. It's kind of a 2-year, situation that we're working on. And so they know next year what you will be working on for them.
And Dr. Farnsworth and I met with each class on March 7th, and we went over that 2-year plan with them. So they know that we're working towards making sure everybody's in the proper place on a salary schedule that we'll be creating next year.
Excellent. Thank you for reminding.
Any other discussion or comments?
I was going to make a motion
Okay, do
to
it.
approve
Do it.
classified compensation and salary placement schedule.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion passes. 6.2, classified transfers, resignations, terminations. Dr. Farnsworth.
So you can see that we are still getting a variety of different resignations, and I have no further comment.
I move to approve the classified personnel employee actions as presented.
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion?
I just want to wish them well in their endeavors. Thank them for their service and their work.
All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion passes. 6.3, classified personnel employment. Dr. Farnsworth.
So we are bringing to the board all of our hourly employees for approval so we can issue them a work agreement for the next 25-26 school year. And you can see that the new rates are adjusted in there for their new work agreements. And we would ask you to approve those so we can send those out to our hourly employees.
Make a motion to approve the classified personnel employee actions as presented.
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion passes. 6.4, certified transfers, resignations, terminations. Dr. Farnsworth.
Well, it's that time of year. We've sent out teacher contracts, and this Friday is the deadline. So I just want to remind, if there's any teacher watching and you haven't turned in your contract, please do so. Tomorrow's the deadline. But this is the time of year where we do have a few people switching careers or moving for personal reasons. We want to wish them the very best. But this will allow us and our administrative team to hire currently. This is the prime hiring season to make sure we have qualified candidates for next school year.
I'd like to move to approve as presented, and I wanted to thank Mr. Barnes for his years of service and wish him well on his retirement.
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second. Anything else? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion passes. 6.5, certified employment, Dr. Farnsworth.
So to the very point, we're already hiring for next school year, which I'm thankful for the principals for taking advantage of this time. And so you will see that the principals have been pretty busy trying to get a jump on the hiring for next school year.
I move to approve the hirings as presented.
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion passes. 6.6, Kairos. Did I pronounce that? Kairos renewal, 25-26. Ms. Davis.
Yes, so this is our health insurance along with our dental, vision, and the additional life if the employee so chooses. We do have a change this year. Kairos is getting rid of this 1650 high deductible plan. And so we were given a choice to add the 1200 PPO plan, which was recommended by by Kairos, which would give us an additional copay plan. So it gives the employees 2 copay plans to choose from, which is also a little bit cheaper for us as well. And so that gives the employees 2 copay plans to choose from and 2 high deductible plans to choose from. So that will be a change for us. And as I think we brought that to the board, maybe not. So it is an increase to us this year of 9%. Our insurance is going up 9%. And after a discussion, we have decided that the district will absorb that cost this year, which is a big cost. It comes to about $160,000. But we have made it known that this will be the only year that we will be able to do that. Again, with what we're going to do with the salaries next year and what we did this year, we will have to probably adjust that next year with the staff. But I think it's a great gesture by the board for the district to absorb that cost this year.
Didn't we talk about that in the study session?
We did. That's right. See, I knew we talked about it.
I remember the 9%, yeah.
Yes, but it's great that we now have 2 copay plans for the employees to choose from and 2 high deductible plans.
I love it.
Yes.
Thank you for doing that, and thank you for helping us to absorb those costs. I do.
Absolutely.
That. And I motion.
And I'd like to thank Nikki for Pike for, she's put a lot of work into this and getting this ready for the board tonight.
Thank you.
I move to approve as presented.
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion passes. 6.7, Cubby Hole preschool teacher job description.
So if you'll remember, we changed to a certified position instead of a classified position. And I believe it's due to some reporting requirements by the state that we are required to have a certified position in there. So this job description just reflects that change.
I move to approve the job description for the cubbyhole as presented.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. 6.8, academic testing specialist job description. Approval, Dr. Farnsworth.
We're asking the board to approve this new job description to help out with all the many different testing requirements that we're having with a lot of our new students. This would be a position that would help across the entire district, especially with our special needs students. We do have more and more students that are requiring testing for services, and this would be a big benefit to our special education department.
Where will this be funded from?
I believe it will be funded through M&O. So we give the special ed department a budget out of M&O, and I believe this will be part of their allocation.
Thank you.
I'll make a motion to approve the academic testing specialist job description as presented.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion passes. 6.9, speech language pathologist agreement 25-26.
So we're super early on this. This is for the next school year, the 25-26. And again, we just do not have the expertise up here on the mountain to provide those services for our special needs students, and so we have to contract out. And so this agreement is with the county, I believe. So we're asking the board to approve this contract for the 25-26 school year.
I move to approve the speech language pathologist position for the 25-26 school year as presented.
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion passes. You're opposed?
Yeah.
Okay. I apologize. I went quick there.
No worries.
Sorry. Will you make sure you note that? Courtney, thanks. 6.10 ESI contract renewal fiscal year 25-26. Ms. Davis.
So ESI is those employees that retire and go on ESI for a year and then usually come back. We currently do not have anybody going on ESI next year, but we do renew the contract just in case somebody does decide to go on ESI throughout the year. So this is just our normal renewal with ESI.
We have no one going on ESI next year?
Not at this time.
Really? Okay.
I was surprised that it's 17% now for somebody to go onto a ESI.
Yeah.
That is high.
Yes.
Yeah, it is crazy. I'll move to approve the ESI contract renewal for FY 25-26.
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion passes. 6.11 athletic handbook approval. Dr. Farnsworth and Mr. Hoffmeyer again.
If Mr. Hoffmeyer could come back up to the podium. If you want to give the board a quick synopsis, Reader's Digest version of the handbook and where we are.
Absolutely. So what led this particular handbook is Missy Townsend from Prescott Unified School District. She did a bunch of research. She met with a couple of attorneys through the trust, and it took her probably 3 or 4 months to put this together. And through the AIAAA, which is the athletic association, the professional thing separate from the AIA, the rural schools are going to start to use this model, so we're all the same, so to speak, with policies, procedures, and whatnot. When I saw what she had put together, it beat what I had put together 2 years ago. So it shows you, intelligence. But I adjusted it to our community. We had to change just a few things in it. I did update the transportation stuff, what we talked about. I think the big ticket items were no more out of state, summer travel, but in-state, local. We had a circle, the north, Flagstaff, Phoenix, Tucson. In summer, we'd still provide the minis. So I adjusted that in there. Everything else is pretty open. I love it. I think it's a fantastic handbook. And I do have to admit again, I did not write it. Yes, but it's awesome. It covers everything that we could want to cover in there. Yeah.
I thought it was very well written.
Absolutely.
Very comprehensive.
Exactly. Yes. Inclusive of everything you could think of.
Yes, you did. Amazing.
It's a long read, but
I was just visiting with her.
I was going to say.
I was like, I really like it. I'm going to try to match it. She's like, just copy it.
Yeah, it was
Nice.
good.
It's like, oh, okay.
Thank you, right? Thank
Yes,
you.
I didn't want to say it, but yeah, copy.
Yeah.
It's a great document.
Yeah, it really was. And I'll move to approve it as presented.
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Thank you, Scott.
Thanks.
Motion passes. Thank you. 6.12 superintendent to hire hourly staff. Dr. Farnsworth.
So I would like the board's permission. If we have noticed a trend that when we hire our hourly folks in particularly, sometimes it takes 3 to 4 weeks before they get board approved and then the onboarding process, and that when we call them to come in and start their onboarding process, they've already got hired with another institution. And so what I'm asking is that I have permission to hire, to streamline our hourly hiring process so we can start them. And then of course bring their name for ratification, as long as the background check is clear, they have the accurate fingerprint cards. That will really help out a lot of our school sites, because they're waiting until people get approved to go help in the classroom, and then sometimes they don't even show up, and so then we're back at ground zero. And so that would be my request of the board, if you would allow me to do that.
Does everybody understand this and have any questions or anything? I'll entertain a motion then.
Make a motion to approve the superintendent to hire hourly staff as presented.
I'll second.
Motion is second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion passes. 6.13, Model Policy Program Update 2425, number 3.
So thank you. I may take a little bit more time on this because there's been a lot of conversation on social media about Title IX. And so I just want to, I put out an FAQ on this policy. So just, if you can bear with me if I read a few things here. So what is Title IX? Title IX is a landmark federal civil rights law in the United States that was enacted as part of the Education Amendments of 1972. It prohibits sex-based discrimination in any school or any other education program that receives funding from the federal government. And it's not only just sex-based discrimination for students, it's sex-based discrimination for adults. So why is the Show Low School Board evaluating their Title IX policy? So on January 9th, 2025, the Eastern District of Kentucky vacated the Title IX 2024 regulations. In addition, President Donald Trump issued an executive order titled Defending Women from Gender Ideology, Extremism, and Restoring Biological Truth to the Federal Government, which ordered the Secretary of the United States Department of Education to provide clear guidance on sex-based definitions. Under the U.S. Department of Education, they issued a Dear Colleague letter on January 31st, 2025, confirming that public entities are to use the federal regulations from May 2020. So in essence, we're reverting back to the 2020 regulations to interpret Title IX. School districts are advised to revert to the use of the 2020 Title IX regulations, which is what we are doing at the school board meeting tonight. And if you look and read through the policy, it's really centered around sex discrimination, both for students and for employees, that if there is any claim of a sexual harassment or discrimination, we are obligated to investigate to see if that's indeed factual. The policy outlines that there has to be a Title IX coordinator, which we have. There's certain practices and policies and procedures that we are required to follow. Oftentimes we contact our legal counsel and they help us walk through the timelines and the investigative methods, and they in fact help us in some of the investigations, and this is something that we're required to do. So I just want to share that with the public. It's all about equal opportunity and making sure that Show Low School District is enforcing and living up to the civil rights expectations of 1972, making sure there's no sexual discrimination or harassment. Are there any questions hopefully I can try to answer?
Thank you.
I don't have any questions, but I wanted to say thanks for giving us all that information. There's a 3-page section that's pretty in-depth about that whole thing, and if anybody's interested in that, you're more than welcome to hit the folks up at the district office. They've got all that paperwork that you're welcome to read, welcome to take a look at.
And you just reminded me, Mr. President, all of our policies for the public, if you don't know, they're on our website for free. So if you go to the governing board section and you scroll down, it will say governing board policy. You can look up all these policies. You can print them off. You can read them. They're transparent. They're open to the public. So they're there for everybody to read and evaluate if they have any questions.
Perfect. Don't have to waste any gas to go to the district office. So with that, if there's no other comments or discussion, I'll entertain a motion to approve.
I move to approve the Model Policy Program update for the 2024-25, number 3 as presented.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion passes. Item 6.14, NPC dual enrollment and Talon IGAs 24 through 27. Ms. Davis.
So every year we have to renew the IGA with NPC for the Talon and the dual enrollment with NPC. So the contract, the IGA itself is good until 2027, but the Talon classes and the dual enrollment is always updated every year. And so attached to the agenda are those Talon classes and the dual enrollment classes. So this is up for renewal, and so this is what we're approving here tonight.
And that's just because the classes will change yearly, right? They may have one year, not the next year, depending on enrollment and that sort of thing, right?
Exactly.
I move to approve the IGAs between MPC for the fiscal year 25 through 26 as presented.
It was 27.
Oh, that's what it says.
These are just for next year.
Okay, so we're just gonna
Oh,
do,
just for
Right.
okay, just do the 1 year, yeah, okay. That's okay. So the contract is through 27. We do this yearly because the classes change.
Okay.
So I have a motion.
Seconded.
I have a second. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion passes. 6.15, Sholo School District Meal Change Policy. Ms. Davis.
So last month I brought this meal change policy to you regarding how we would handle student accounts in the cafeteria with their meal balances. We're currently going through an audit with the ADE for our cafeteria program, and it was brought to my attention that we needed to have a part of this policy deal with those students that are graduating. So when a student graduates, if they do not pay for their outstanding balance, how would we handle that? So we added to the policy that if they do not pay for their balance, because we cannot let a student graduate just because they haven't paid their balance. So I added to the policy that we would take any outstanding balances from graduated students to the board to write those balances off. So that was the change to this policy.
So if you don't write them off, what happens?
They sit there.
You just sit there.
Unless somebody graciously wants to pay those balances.
Which we've had happen, right?
We have.
Women's organization. Yeah.
This year, they did an amazing job.
Yeah.
I move to approve the updated meal change policy as presented.
I'll second.
Motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. 6.16, update procedure 5-213.A. Shaylee. Ms. Davis, sorry.
Thank you. So this procedure is part of our policies, and it has numerous pieces to this. And after consulting with Ms. Karen Smith regarding our meal money policy and procedure for when we go on trips, whether it be athletics or field trips or competitions, our current policy and procedure is they get $6 a day for meals. And we've talked about this, Mr. Hoffmeyer and I, the superintendent, and you can't eat on $6 a day. And so after consulting with Ms. Smith, she recommended that, and a lot of districts do this, that we go by the Arizona Department of Administration guidelines. And they update this yearly, and the current rate is $17. So if we put the language that we just always follow the Arizona Department of Administration, that when we don't have to change this policy every year to change the dollar amount, we just every time it changes, then our policy would change. So I'm asking that we add this piece to this procedure so that we can update our meal money amount to it's currently $17 a day, effective immediately, because we have lots of things going on, and it's just hard on these kids and the coaches, because a lot of times the coaches will fork up the additional money so that they can have a decent meal when they're on the road.
I love this. Thank you very much. And I move to approve the updated procedure 5-213-A as presented.
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. I thought that the high school principal was gonna pay all those lunches while the kids were gone. I don't know how we missed that, but
you those kids eat?
Yes, that's what I mean. As far as that goes, $6 for the entire day. The 17, I'm not sure how you
Not a whole lot.
get those meals.
A lot better than 6.
Exactly.
So, yeah,
President, can I make a
I think
comment
we're all glad
on
to
that
see
as well? I just want to publicly thank Shaylee for, I came to her at the very last minute and go, we've got to do something, because there are a lot of end of the year trips. And so I just want to publicly thank her for getting that written on the boards for your approval, because there's a lot of end of the year field trips that $6 per kid is not going to do it. And so thank you, Ms. Davis, for getting that done.
And two, if I may, Ms. Smith has been, she's, as we know, she's no longer, in the districts, but she's a great consultant for me. And the other piece on there is when it comes to student activity monies, we don't have to follow this rule. It's for the kids raise their own money. They can do what they want with it. So that's the nice piece. We don't have to follow that policy for that money. And none of it hits M&O. It's all either auxiliary tax credit or student activity. So it's great that we can do this.
That's a great thing to point out. Thank you.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Okay, 6.17 facility use agreement, Ms. Davis.
So anytime we make a change to this facility use agreement, we have to bring it to the board. There was one change made to the
Athletics.
Yes, the fee schedule. So in the fee schedule, it had a dollar amount for camps. And that amount is usually dictated by the athletic director. So we removed that dollar amount, and it now just reads, contact the athletic director. So it was just 2 lines, and that's the only piece that's changed on the facility use agreement at this time.
I'll move to approve the updated procedure 6.17, facility use agreement. Motion to approve.
I'll
the
second.
Facility use agreement.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes.
I had a question.
Shoot.
What was our schedule last year, Scott?
When they,
Summer camps?
yeah, when they updated it this year, it had like $60 a day and like $8 for food. Throughout, we pay $22.50 a day for food. And the use, we're at between $125 and $165 per school, depending on the nights they want and as many meals as they want. Typical one is like 3 nights, 8 meals, max about $145. That pays our food bills, that gets our district enough money. We made last summer $150,000 for the summer. We paid, I think, $78,000 for food. And the benefits of that to our teams with uniforms and supplies and field maintenance, and we redid the gym floor, and it gives me so much extra funds to help our team.
Is our summer enrollment up or down from what it has been in the past few years? Excuse me, I got no front teeth.
Last year we were up, and this summer we're going to be down a little bit. We had an issue. I think we solved the issue, so this summer we'll reestablish our food program, and I think next summer we'll be back. We will be a little lower this summer.
Thank you.
Okay, moving on to 6.18, school properties disposal, Ms. Davis.
This is just another disposal. There's only one item on this one, but it's the normal disposals that I ask you to approve.
I move to approve the school properties disposal as presented.
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. 6.19, out-of-state travel.
Thank you, Mr. President. We have a request from the junior high principal and her assistant principal to go to a professional development conference, Innovative School Summit, in Las Vegas. I should have checked to see if the Killers were playing in Las Vegas.
Right.
But I wasn't sure. I'll do some work to see if they're actually in concert. But I would recommend that you would approve this out-of-state conference.
I move to approve the out-of-state travel.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Item 6.20, gifts and donations.
We have two donations. One from the city of Sholo, again, who is a fantastic partner of all the stuff that they donate. They donated nearly $10,000 in new microphones and sound equipment to the theater department. And so I want to publicly thank them for doing that. Also, we have a donation of some new instruments, strum sticks, which are almost $2,500. And so we're excited to ask our music teachers if they know what a strum stick is and if they can teach kids to use strum sticks. So we just want to publicly thank both of those individuals.
Move to approve gifts and donations as presented.
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. 6.21, student fundraising and activities.
We've got 3 fundraisers there. Prom tickets are going to go on sale anytime. Reimbursement for an FBLA, and then the FBLA media fundraiser.
I move to approve as presented.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion passes. 6.22, future agenda items. Okay, looks like we're good there. Item 7.1, we have the call to the public, and we have one person, Shay Sturm. If you would come up, remember you've got about 3 minutes, and if you'd state your name, I'd appreciate it.
Hello. Hello. My name is Shay Wood Sturm, and I'm here to speak on the Title IX protections. I wanted to let you know that the difference between the 2020 Title IX and the 2024 that was left out is that you guys just voted on pregnant people's rights protections and queer and trans kids' rights protections. You guys left those out from the 2020 to the 2024 one. I'm here to speak on the title. I need you to recognize that was a rule that was put into place to protect kids because the schools weren't doing it on their own. Schools across the nation had to be forced to protect kids, as they have since Ruby Bridges had to walk by all those hateful white adults on her way to school. You are trying to water down that protection. Why? Are you afraid of someone different than you? A kid different than you? Trans people have always existed. This isn't a new concept. The only change is that they are less afraid to be themselves around hateful people. Change is inevitable. You can either be excited by it or scared by it. I choose to be excited by it. But let's talk about the source of fear. Since 2017, there have been exactly 16 transgender athletes who have competed in school athletic programs in Arizona. 16 in 8 years. Contrast to the ratio, and this is not a perfect number because you have to work off of convictions, of 16 Mormons who have raped children in 2024 alone. For those of you who are keeping count, that is 16 Mormon abusers in 1 year. It seems that if this board wanted to protect children, that they should be keeping Mormons away from our kids, not monitoring the genitals of children that are trying to navigate life. Where does it stop? When are you going to stop taking away rights? Just the trans kids? How about the queer kids? BIPOC kids? This is a dangerous precedent, and that you are just going to whittle away rights until only white or the right religious kids are safe. You say that you are afraid of the federal government or federal funding being taken away. It is already being taken away. The school has stopped giving away snacks to kids in school because the funding has been taken away. These violations are brought into sharp relief when it is pointed out that each and every member of this board began the year by violating their constitutional oath by direct and woefully ignorant actions. Our First Amendment rights precede your comfort. Miller v. California found that profanity and obscene material is protected speech. You guys can't take that away. Thank you.
Thank you. I'd like to remind everybody that When you have concerns, feel free to go to the site and principals, and you can go to the district, the superintendent, and of course, the big thing when we're talking federal stuff, feel free to call your legislatures. They're the ones that we really need to get the message and change things for the better. With that said, our next meeting will be May 9th, 2025. And I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
I have a,
There's
we need to,
Post May 8th.
is it May 8th? It is the 8th. Sorry, the 9th's Friday. I won't be here. So let's make it the May 8th, 2025. Sorry about that. I apologize. And I have a motion and a second to adjourn. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Thank you. Thanks for coming, folks.
Yep, thank you.
Appreciate all you do.